So what I entitled today's presentation is to stop being a secret agent. We got to learn how to build our brand using social media and AI. Now, this is a conversation that's only really become popular within the last few years. You know, we haven't really thought about building ourselves as a brand, but as the market moves forward, as technology advances, we've always said we are our product. One of the questions that I always like to ask new salespeople is I say, what are you selling? So Aaron Monza, if I was to ask you that question, what are you selling? Your answer would be what?
Real estate.
No. So, Mike Sampson, what are you selling?
Experience, but more importantly, results.
Nope. Somebody now, Ray, you got the answer for me, buddy. What are we selling?
What are we selling? I agree with actually Mike. We are selling a results. That's what we are selling at the end of the day.
Okay. All right. When I give you the answer, you're going to
selling me.
What? Somebody said it. Say it again.
Said we're selling me,
You're selling
myself.
yourself. You are your product. You get that, guys? You are your product. Listen, if somebody wants to buy or sell a home, they're going to do it whether you're in the business or not. Okay? You are selling yourself. You are selling your service. You are selling your brand. You're selling yourself. So the first thing that you've got to do, number one, I'm going to tell you is if you want to be a successful agent, you've got to be sold on yourself. You've got to be able to say, listen, if I was a buyer or seller, would I hire me? Okay, that's number one. Would I hire me? The answer better be yes, because selling is simply a transference of belief. But now we've got to figure out how to market our product. Now, as it just so happens, I actually have a degree in marketing. I went to college for marketing. Only problem was the internet wasn't invented yet. So the marketing that I've learned over the last many years has been books and podcasts and all these different new resources that we have available to us. Okay, so let's talk about our brand. So again, Mike Sampson.
Yes.
All right, I want to use you as an example.
Oh, goody.
So I want you to just randomly pick somebody that you know. Just give me a random name. Somebody, anybody.
Chris Yoakum.
Say it
Chris
again.
Yoakum.
Chris
Yoakum.
Chris Yoakum. All right, great guy. And so how do you know Chris?
Through real estate.
Okay. All right. So this is the first point I want us to grasp. Okay. Chris Yoakum, real estate agent. Okay. Now, does Chris have a wife?
Yes.
Okay. So Chris is a husband.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Chris is somebody's classmate. Chris is somebody's next door neighbor. Chris is somebody's, and I'm making this up, golfing buddy. Okay. The point I'm trying to make to you guys is our job in the modern age of real estate, our job is to get as many people as we can to associate us with real estate. Now, I want you guys, if you're taking notes, and I hope you are, because there's going to be lots of notes to take today. Okay. I want you to write down the word associate. My job is to get people to associate me with real estate. Now, so if I ask somebody that knows Mike Sampson, okay, what is my, and it could be, let's just say it's one of your old high school classmates. And they know you as the guy they used to goof off with in school. and I say, do you know Mike Sampson? Yeah, I know Mike, great guy. Well, what does Mike do for a living? Well, shoot, I think he sells real estate. I think he sells real estate. Yeah, he does. All right, so there is a difference, guys, and this is a key point I want you to grasp. There is a difference between them knowing what you do and associating you with real estate. See, if I start calling off random names of different people that you know, the way that we remember them is through association. This is my friend from high school. That's the guy I go to church with. This is my golfing buddy. When yet all of our lives are multifaceted. So for us to truly be effective, for us to have a dramatic increase in the amount of business we do, we have to get more people to associate us with real estate. Because let me tell you a trend that I have noticed over the last several years. It's a trend. I want you guys to nod your head if you agree with me on this, especially some of you that have been in the business for a while. I could take two agents, and here's a seller, here's somebody who wants to sell their home. And I've got two agents. I've got one agent over here on my right that is less experienced, doesn't have a tremendous track record, but knows the seller and the seller knows them. Then I've got the agent over here on my left who is highly knowledgeable, great track record, lots of experience, a way better resume, but does not know the seller and the seller does not know them. Who has the advantage?
The former.
The first agent.
The person who has the credibility.
Yeah.
You got everybody agree with me? Nod your head if you agree with me on that. Okay, now can I tell you the exception to this rule? Here's the exception to this rule. And unfortunately, we don't run across these kind of sellers all that often. But the exception to the rule is a seller who absolutely has to make the right choice on who they hire, or else something catastrophic is going to happen that's bad. It's like, yeah, it's kind of like, you know, when I get diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and my good friend just graduated from medical school as an oncologist, and then here's somebody else who's got 25 years experience and his patients live, but he may be a jerk with bedside manner. Guess what? I don't care. I'm going to go see that guy because I want to live. Sorry, friend. I'm glad you went to medical school, but I've got to have somebody who's going to get results. So that's the exception. But the trend that we're seeing in this market now is people, I think it's because of the way that we as a culture now are bombarded by solicitation. We're bombarded by marketing in all different channels. You go back 10 years from now, the number of channels that we were marketed through are 20% of what they are right now. And so because everything is coming at us from so many different angles, can you guys remember when our cell phones used to be off limits? Nobody called you on your cell phone unless they knew you and had your private number. Now you get solicitations from all sorts of people in marketing that have your cell phone number. That didn't used to be the case. So what's happened, whether we have intended to do it, whether we've realized it or not, is through just pure defense mechanism. We all are kind of walking around like this with our guard up, not even really intending to, not even realizing we're doing it, because we've got, you know, so many people coming at us all the time. So therefore, what we're looking for more and more and more is credibility, familiarity, somebody that I can trust, somebody I feel confident in. We're bigger skeptics now than we ever used to be. Are you guys with me on this point? So therefore, as you guys are planning your business and you're looking down the road, trying to decide which direction do I need to go to build a big business, I'm going to tell you more now than ever, you need to work on building your brand and building your network of people who associate you with real estate. If we hung up the call right now and you got that point, you got your money's worth. Granted, you didn't pay anything for it, but you still got your money's worth there. All right, good. Let's move on to the next point, Justin. Thank you. Okay, so there's all sorts of different methods that we can use to create our brand. Okay, because think about this. How do we define our brand? What do people say about us when we're not in the room with them? If I say, do you know Tim Laidler? Yes, he is this, he is that. Do you know Ray Stendhal? Yes, he is this, he is that. What do people say? How do they perceive you? Even if they know you're in the real estate business, do they perceive you as somebody who is truly a professional, who's a knowledgeable expert? I mean, if I've got $1 million home that I want to sell and I'm looking to pay a $30,000 commission to somebody to sell it for me, I want somebody that I feel like really knows what they're doing. What is that brand that you are delivering? I remember in marketing school, I went to the Minder School of Business at Oklahoma City University. And we've all heard, listen, don't make a mountain out of a molehill. But actually what marketing is marketing is turning that molehill into a mountain. Marketing, guys, understand this. Marketing is all about creating perceived value. I was talking with Justin, our marketing guy for Watson Powers this morning, and we were talking about this point as we were preparing for the call today. And I want you guys to think about, men, I want you to think about cologne. Ladies, I want you to think about perfume for a moment. That stuff is freaking expensive. Most bottles of perfume and cologne are expensive. And all they are just scented oils and water. Probably very, very cheap to make. But then they put them in these containers that when the container's empty, you almost hate to throw it away because it's like a piece of artwork. It's some beautifully sculpted container, and you're like, wow, this is beautiful. I'll pay $200 to smell pretty for that container. It's the way they package it. Okay, they're creating perceived value through their packaging. When we are looking at branding ourselves, we've got to look at it from the perspective of how are we packaging ourselves. There's a great quote from Elon Musk before he and President Trump got in a fight that said, give me 90 days on social media and I can make you see me however I want you to see me. I got to tell you something else. Another interesting point. This is a little bit off the subject, but I want to share this with you because I think it's valuable. Somebody was interviewing one of Elon Musk's ex-wives, of all interesting people to interview, his ex-wife, and asked her, why is he so successful? What's the secret to his success? And I was fascinated by her answer. She said, he can handle a level of stress that would break most people. Isn't that fascinating? He can handle a level of stress that would break most people. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. Okay. So Instagram, bring that back up again, Justin. Instagram. Okay. Everybody, I'm sure, has probably been on Instagram. So what are the differences? Because there's so many different vehicles that we can use, and each one of them have a little bit of a different niche. Instagram is more visual storytelling and brand building. It's great for reels, okay, or rolling video footage, photos, behind the scenes, a day in the life of Ray Stendhal. This is Ray out there taking his $1 million listing. Okay. They're also geared more towards a younger audience. Okay. More of your younger people are on Instagram than, say, Facebook. Let's go to Facebook. Okay. So again, Facebook, typically a little bit older audience. That doesn't mean younger people are not on Facebook, but most of you know, some of you don't. I have 7 children. My oldest is Brienne. I think she's 37. My youngest, Carson's 18. And so I get a real good survey of younger people's perspectives. And all of my kids are on Facebook, but they do other methods of social media way more than Facebook. So what's it used for? It's great for building communities and groups. It's great for local awareness and events. It's really good. It has a lot of great data for targeting and identifying what's working and what's not working with your marketing. One of the things that Justin, our marketing guy for Watson Powers, is really good at is analyzing our social media, looking at the data and determining what's working, what's not working, so we can do more of what's working and less of what's not. Okay, so Facebook. All right, let's look at another method. TikTok. TikTok. Who gets on TikTok besides me from time to time? Bunch of old people on here. Okay. I enjoy TikTok, but TikTok is more for entertainment. It's watching people do crazy, silly things. Like, you guys remember the ice bucket challenge? I'm gonna have a bucket of ice water. Who came up with that? Who knows? Anyway, there's this local guy that does a lot of TikTok advertising, and from what I understand, he sells a lot of homes off of it. And here's the crazy thing. This is what he does. Literally, this is what he does. He stands in front of a house drinking a soda with crazy music playing in the background while this dialogue runs across the screen about whatever it is he's wanting to say. And that's it. And my daughter is a loan officer and does a lot of mortgage business for him. And according to her, he sells about 10 houses a month off of that. He doesn't say a word. He doesn't speak. He's drinking a soda the whole time. He doesn't even dress nice. But he gets people's attention because of the entertainment value that he creates through TikTok. People are following him and say, I want to see more of the crazy things he does. And, and the crazy, he plays the first time. This is funny. I love the Simon and Garfunkel song, Sound of Silence. That's a beautiful song. I love that song. Well, now they have a new version of it. Oh, anyway, you guys have probably heard it. I can't think of the name. It's like a hard rock group that sings it. Say it again?
Disturbed.
Disturbed. Yeah. If you guys haven't heard it, you should. It's really good. And it's the background music to a lot of videos and stuff now. And but anyway, one of the videos I was watching of this guy, he had that song in the back, and that's the first time that I heard that version of it. But I mean, it's the craziest thing. But that's TikTok. TikTok is more short, entertainment value, capturing people's attention. It's for people like when I get on TikTok, it's because when I tend to be on TikTok the most, when I take we have 3 dogs. When I take the dogs out at night, and I'll let them do their business so they don't do their business in the house in the middle of the night, I'll sit out back for a little bit and sit on TikTok while they're doing their business. Entertainment. That's all I'm looking for. Something to unwind, relax, not take too seriously. That's TikTok. Okay, Justin, let's go to the next. LinkedIn. LinkedIn is almost the polar opposite of TikTok. LinkedIn, we have another marketing company that we use, and I mean, there's no question, their favorite method of marketing is LinkedIn. He's a huge fan of LinkedIn. It's business to business, typically business people on there sharing all sorts of thoughts and ideas. And the thing that's interesting about LinkedIn is it can be just a short little thought. It can be a long dissertation. It's just, but it's a place that it's great for recruiting, professional updates, educational posts. You can put motivational, inspiring things. But again, you've got to think about whatever you put out there is going to make a statement about who you are. So you've got to think about what you put out there. Now, what I want to do, Justin, if you'll bear with me for a second, I'm going to take over the sharing of the screen for a minute. Told you guys you're going to have to bear with me some on this. So I told you I want to show you guys too how to use AI. Now I know some of you probably are on this call saying, gee, I could teach him a thing or two, and you could. But I'm going to share. All right. All right, so I'm going to come over here to Chat GPT. Okay. Hi, chat. I want you to create a social media post regarding real estate that will go viral. If Zillow had a heart, what a great heading here. If Zillow had a heart, it would know when you walked into the one. Not just any house, the one where your dog runs to greet you, the one with pancakes on Sunday morning. Hey, I couldn't come up with that stuff. Chat GPT came up with that instantly. All right. I don't like that one. Give me two more. Funny, but relatable. House hunting be like. Bold and motivational. Stop paying your landlord's mortgage. Hey, if you don't know what to post, there it is. All right, how about this? How about this? Everybody's heard that you should be blogging. You should be putting blogs on your website, because the more blogs, the more active Google sees your website as being, the better it's going to place you on the search engines. Hi, chat. Create a blog about current events involving real estate. Anybody besides me ever sat there stressed out trying to get your creative juices flowing so you can figure out what to write? Or you could just jump on Chat GPT, and here's an incredible blog. I was talking with a client the other day about this great book called Rocket Fuel. Gino Wickman, Rocket Fuel. It talks about the integrator and the visionary. And if you go to read that book, or I read with my ears. Anybody else read with their ears besides me? I read with my ears on Audible. And it's about a 6-hour book. And so I went on Chat GPT and I said, summarize all of the chapters of Rocket Fuel. There it is. It took up 3 pages. Summarized chapter. Anybody like me, spare me the labor pains and show me the baby, just get me to the bottom line. Most books, most books, they say everything they need to say in a few lines, and then they just repeat themselves over and over again as filler material. One of my favorite books on selling doesn't have anything to do with sales. Ironic, isn't it? It's by Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Not really a sales book at all. It's a human relations book. And Lord knows we need to work on our human relations, because that's one area where we are digressing as a culture. Human relations, just compare the people that work the drive-throughs today versus 10 years ago. We are digressing. Okay. And so I wanted to share with my salespeople about this wonderful book. Now I could say, go read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And it's probably 5 or 6 hour listen or read. They're probably not going to do it. But I went on Chat GPT and said, hi, Chat, give me a summary of all of the chapters of How to Win Friends and Influence People. Within 60 seconds, I've got a summary of the book. AI, guys, AI. It's freaking scary. It's freaking scary. Literally, I had a handout that I could hand to all of my salespeople. Okay, you may not want to read this big old thick book, but read these 3 or 4 pages here. And it's gonna summarize what you need to know from the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. You know, there's a cool read that's very similar to that. Who's ever heard, oh my goodness, hang on. Earl Nightingale summarizing Think and Grow Rich. It's out there on Audible. It's really cool. Okay, Earl Nightingale, what Earl Nightingale does with Think and Grow Rich is he gives you like every chapter is like 2 to 3 minutes of him summarizing his interpretation of that chapter. So I'm sure everybody on here has probably read Think and Grow Rich, but just for fun, and it's not a real long read, go get Earl Nightingale's interpretation of Think and Grow Rich. Really, really cool. It'll help you think about things from a different perspective. Okay. So AI, listen, anymore, when my salespeople get listings, here's what we do. We make a note of the most outstanding features of the home. We hop on Chat GPT and say, Chat, give me a 1-paragraph description for the MLS to include the following features. Da 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 da. 60 seconds later, you have the most incredible write-up that you just simply copy and paste into the remarks for your listings, and it makes every house you've got listed seem like it's Taj Mahal. Who's doing that? Raise your hand if you're doing that. All of you should be raising your hand.
Gordon, for the book
Grace.
summary, I also asked ChatGPT to give me a list of action items per chapter and a task list.
Awesome. That's a great idea. It's virtually unlimited, isn't it, Grace? By the way, it's great to see you. You look terrific. So yeah, give me a set of action items. Give me, homework from each chapter. It virtually will do whatever you ask it to do. All right, so Justin, let's go to the next one. What's YouTube? Okay. Well, YouTube is a really, my son, my number 6 child, can fix anything. And he tells me, he said, if I don't know how to fix it, give me 15 minutes on YouTube and I know how to fix it. YouTube is for educational purposes. It's more long-term, more long-run format videos. It's also a place that Google tracks what you're doing, and it influences your placement on the Google search engines. You can take YouTube and you can have long runs, or you can make short runs out of it. Okay, but YouTube is a whole unique format. that is a great resource for education, tutorial, storytelling. So learn how to use YouTube. So we got to look at it from two perspectives. I'm sure everybody's been on YouTube, but have you used YouTube to promote your brand? And the thing that's the most cool of everything I'm telling you here is how much have I increased your budget by everything I've told you on this call? Zero. Doesn't cost you anything to do it. And if you're not quite sure how to do it well, my new friend ChatGPT can tell you. Let's go to the next slide, Justin. All right. So we call this the 4-category content strategy. There's different types of content. You don't always want to do the same thing every time. You don't want to always get in that rut. So some of your videos, some of your marketing needs to be educational. Different tips, different, what can I do to, what kind of improvements can I make to my home to increase the home's value? Okay. Again, ChatGPT can get that for you. Behind the scenes, maybe showing what you do to get prepared for a listing appointment. What I find fascinating is some of the videos and things that have the most followings, the most interaction, are some of the ones that it shocked me. Like, really? Are you guys really that interested in that? And they are. People are just curious. Personal. It's another category. Personal. People want to know about your life. When you are building your brand, and they want to feel like they know you. They want to start to feel like they're connecting with you. So you don't want to make everything business. You want to do a mixture of business, but also a mixture of personal, so they can see that you, in fact, are a real person, have a real life. And then social proof are testimonials, happy clients, different people saying, hey, this person is wonderful. I bought or sold a house with them, not so happy. Okay. So mix up your content, but those are the 4 categories that you guys should be using to build your content off of. Okay, Justin, what do we got next? Okay. So AI tools to supercharge your brand. See, remember, AI doesn't replace you, it amplifies you. We're using it for all sorts of ideas, captions, descriptions. It can even write your emails for you. Please respond to this email and be very professional. Please respond to this email without being too harsh, whatever, and it'll do it. And if you don't like what it gives you, ask it for another version. You can just keep asking it. It's going to keep putting out different versions, different versions, different versions. All right, Justin, let's go to the next one. Okay, so these are the top 3. Again, I asked ChatGPT, what are the top 3 AI platforms and what do they do? Okay. And AI, there's so many things out there. And again, I'm gonna share my screen with you for a moment. Oh, you're gonna have to unshare. Okay. Thank you, Justin. You cannot share screen while the others just want to share. Okay. All right. Can you guys see this now? Ray, can you see it? Nod your head if you can see that. Thank you. All right. So again, this is ChatGPT. This was number 1. All right. Then we'll go over here. Okay. This is called 11 Labs. Now I'm going to turn up my volume, so hopefully you can hear this. This is voiceovers. So you can take your dialogue, and maybe Chat GPT is the one that helps you with your dialogue. And then you have a voiceover. So let's listen to Lily.
Noticed my questioning glances. Beyond the obvious facts that he has at some time done manual labor, that he takes snuff.
I don't like Lily. How about Chris?
So, you know, I'm sitting there scrolling through my phone, and this woman walks in. She's like out of a magazine.
Let's try Laura.
Hey foodies, let's get cooking with some delicious vegan meal prep ideas. Tip number one,
Isn't that crazy? They say whatever it is you want them to say in their voice. Or let's see, there was, okay, what? Midjourney. Now, Midjourney is all about creating visuals, which you'd call B-roll things. You know, if you want to create something that, because see, here's the thing that I'm seeing and learning through all of this, is it's not just the information that you put out there, but what's getting to be more and more popular and attracting people. Because that's the thing, guys, if you're going to build a brand, you've got to be able to attract people. And so the production quality has a lot to do with whether people watch your material. And so this is called Midjourney. So these are the three, and there's a ton of them out there, guys. There's a ton of them. But ChatGPT, Midjourney, and then 11 Labs are the top 3 AI programs that are being used right now. There's also, we use, as a company, we use Canva. So that's a great program. Justin uses that a lot for creating different material. If you are not educating yourself in AI, you're going to fall behind real quick. You've got to educate yourself because your competition is, and they're going to beat you like a drum. All right, let's go to the next one, Justin. You can take back over. How AI supercharges your CRM. Okay, all of us have CRMs, but AI can automate all your text messages and follow-up, can send personalized emails. They can respond to leads 24/7. All of us have seen the interaction that you can have through this. That's all AI. That's all AI. You know, and remember too, guys, that Chat GPT, when it's creating dialogue and content for you, the more that you interact with it, the more that it learns you. So for example, I could ask it to give me a post and say, make this sound more like Gordon. And it, from the interaction that it's stored with me, it can customize it to say things and present things more like I would, so it looks like it really came from me. All right, Justin? All right, so as we kind of wrap this up, I want you to get this. Your personal brand is the magnet. Your brand is what brings people into you. Your consistency builds the trust. Consistency, you guys need to be posting 3 to 5 times a week, minimum, 3 to 5 times. Every day is not too often, but at least 3 to 5 times a week. The consistency builds the trust. See, what's crazy, if I go back to my example earlier in the call where I said, who's got the advantage, the person they know or the person they don't know? And we all agreed the person they know. But get this, let this sink in for a second. People can feel like they know you from your social media posts. They see you often enough on their computer or on their cell phone that they start to feel like they know you. Interesting. So your consistency builds trust and your authenticity creates followers. They've got to feel like that you're a real person. You're like them. You've got your struggles, you've got your challenges, you've got your successes, you've got your wins, but you're a real person that they can relate to. I think the key word that I would emphasize here is relatability. When you're building your dialogue, when you're building your content, it's relatability. All right, so here's homework. Pick 2 primary platforms to start with. Pick 2. It can be Instagram and Facebook. It can be LinkedIn and YouTube. It can be TikTok and Facebook. Pick 2 and just get started. Use ChatGPT to write 3 social posts for you. And again, make it sound like it's something that you would deliver. If you're not happy, keep asking it. It'll give you more and more until you find something that you really say, hey, I would say this. This would be what I would produce. And then post 1 video answering a client question. Okay, again, that question could be, I'm looking to put my home on the market. What can I invest in that's going to have the biggest return with my market value? Something along those lines. And then use the answer that it gives you. All right, so as I wrap up this call, I know went in a little different direction, but I hope you guys got a lot out of this, because listen, guys, this is the direction that our industry is going in. Each and every one of us are our own product. People are buying us. So we've got to make sure that we are packaging and presenting ourselves so that people want to buy us. So questions, comments before I wrap it up?
Can I give a quick AI tip there, Gordon?
Yeah, go ahead, Ray, please.
Yeah, just a really important tip is that when you're doing the prompt, it's the input is so important to get the right output. So the more specific you can be on the prompt in terms of who your audience is, what the objective is, what you're trying to accomplish, what the constraint is in terms of how long you want it, the tone, the style, all of these things go into play. So if you spend a little bit more time on the prompt, you'll end up getting a much better result. And then you can save that prompt and use it in the future and just tweak it a little bit for what you want to do next.
And great advice. Great advice. You know what I've learned through that is that my prompts, I'm still learning that. My prompts evolve. It's like I can see that I asked it for something, and what it gave me wasn't exactly what I wanted. So I had to be more specific. Please revise this way, then it'll be more specific again. So as you learn how to communicate with your prompts, you are going to get more of what you're looking for. That's great advice. Thank you. Anybody else? Thoughts, comments before we wrap it up? All right.
Gordon, can I jump in with one thing?
Please. Yes.
Guys, I have 2 computer screens and I no longer use Google as my first go-to. I have chat on my other screen, and 95% of my searches are through chat first.
Yep.
Because Google, their analytics steer you towards what they want to sell you. And right now, chat is just giving you the answers that make sense. So Gordon, great stuff today, dude. Great stuff. Guys, Gordon and I are working so hard to stay ahead of every other competition out there, and we're doing it. But just start to use chat instead of Google to start searching things, because you'll be amazed how much clearer answers you get and the truth without trying to sell you something. And then you learn
Steve,
how to talk to it.
you reminded me of something that I want to share. For those of you that have an iPhone, I've got an iPhone. You can actually go into your settings, and when I ask Siri a question, instead of Siri going to Google for the answer, I can set it to go to ChatGPT for the answer. That's the way my phone's set up. Siri, give me this. Siri, tell me that. Siri, answer this question for me. It's going to go to ChatGPT, not Google. So great stuff. Thank you, Steve.
Gordon, my name is Dot, and I'd just like to say this training has been absolutely phenomenal. You have taught me some things that I have never, ever, ever, ever heard of before. Now, I do use Chat GPT a lot, but not to the level that you instructed today. This training was truly invaluable, and
Well,
I
thank
am
you.
very, very grateful, very grateful.
Well, as thank you for that. As Steve said, Steve and I and Sydney, we are constantly working to stay ahead. We are constantly doing our best to bring you the most cutting edge information because the success of your business is something that we take very seriously. And we want to make sure we are bringing you the best. So thank you for recognizing that. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. Have a happy 4th of July. If you're traveling, travel safely. And we will be talking to you soon. Reach out to us if you need us. Steve, Sydney, myself, we're here for you. Have a great day. Thanks for being a part of it.